we're back. So you've decided you want to go speak with Sonura about the missing key. As you do that...
That's a place to start.
As you do that, she actually expresses surprise. I really have no idea what you could possibly be talking about, she says. And when you mentioned that it disappeared from Crystal's office, she says, if you're implying I had anything to do with that, I take offense to that. I would never. Crystal has been so good to me. You can make me perception checks to sense motive. And these are in private.
Oh, oops. Can you delete that?
Sure.
There, I deleted it.
Willow, make me a will save. Make me a flat check.
Gosh.
I was trying to say this with a straight face.
I'm like, oh, she's got a one again.
Okay, you're good. You're good, Willow.
For now.
For now.
Reminds me of, basically, it's like Willow's version of anger management, except a lot more deadlier.
Ada and Makoto, you believe that she is telling you the truth. And she says, if you would like, you can examine my desk for any clues as to what might have happened. I keep my key for the lady's office in my desk here. I'll show you. And she pulls open a drawer on her desk, and when she does, she suddenly looks around in surprise. My key, it's gone. Make me a perception check as you examine her desk.
Dusting for fingerprints.
Yeah, I was just saying, I don't think we even have the dust necessary to check for fingerprints.
Willow, perception check.
You can use any dust. You can use baking soda. You can use flour.
Willow, you suddenly get distracted when Ember flies out of Crystal's office and starts flying down the stairs, and Crystal is running after it.
I wonder if that's a sign.
It's a sign that you should stop rolling perception checks. Because you're not rolling well today. Let me tell you.
Oh, yeah.
The last perception check, you rolled a 1 on the die.
That makes 3 ones today so far.
Actually, more than that.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, Makoto, you find a seashell from the shores of Olympus. Sonura says, it was a gift from my partner before he went off to war with the Duskalvan Empire. The last gift I ever got from him. Solemnly and sadly. When you ask, she pushes back tears and it says, I don't want to talk about it. Ada, you find a worn bootlace. And Sonura says, I saved that just in case. I've always been really down on my luck, financially speaking, with all honesty. Crystal saved me from that life. She gave me this job, and there's no way I would ever risk losing that. I owe her everything. You can make me perception checks once more to continue looking around her desk. Willow, I told you to stop making perception checks. But fortunately, Willow, you do find something this time. You do actually get focused this time. For once. Willow, you find a polished wooden spoon. And Sonura says, it's a gift from my grandmother. I often take my lunch at my desk, despite Crystal's protests. And she laughs. And Makoto, you find a tangle of sewing thread and a bent needle. A memory of my past life. I keep it as a way of remembering how far I've come. And Ada, you get distracted as Crystal is shouting for Ember. And you wonder if you should go help her find Ember. You really get distracted when Crystal says, Ember, don't you go pooping on Axe's head.
What the fuck?
Pax is the ornery Pixen who thinks he's the librarian. The Pixen that Crystal wants to get rid of.
Well, I'm sure he...
Like, if anything like that actually gets a chuckle from Ada.
It's like, I'm sure he did something to deserve it, probably.
Oh, he's done many things to deserve it. He is an ornery Pixen, and Crystal really wants this fairy removed from our school.
Is a, well, it's a misdemeanor. I could surely take him off your hands.
No, Pixins are not Mystimon. Unfortunately. She is calling for a professional fairy removal service. If anyone knows of a professional fairy removal service, please let Crystal know.
We could. I mean, that's not exactly our job.
Willow's
But I'm
leaning into her
sure that
evil
we could do it.
tendencies.
I'm sure we could get rid of him.
So go ahead and make more perception checks.
I believe in myself.
Do you really? Fortunately, you didn't roll a 1 again.
Well, that's good at least.
Ada, are you still distracted with Ember? Makoto, you find a tiny wooden whistle. As you find this, she takes it from you immediately, and you can make me another perception check to sense motive. You see tears in her eyes. You can make me a diplomacy check to try to calm her. You could even make a medicine check to try and calm her.
I was just gonna ask, can I do medicine instead?
Yeah. It once belonged to my daughter.
I'm so sorry.
She died during the civil unrest in the city several years ago. Her loss has not gotten any easier to bear. Thank you. Ada, you find a pocket worry stone. On the bottom of it is carved a word in Elven that reads strength. And Sonora says, that is the only way I've been able to bear the loss of my daughter, my sweet Nesma. When I feel myself getting sad, I pick up that stone and hold it close to my heart. So,
and Ada just kind of silently responds in Elven with, then strength is very much needed.
You get the sense that she doesn't actually know Elven. The only bit of Elven that she understood from that was strength.
Then, if anything, after a little bit, Ada would kind of offer the translation of it, which was just, then strength is much needed.
Yeah. You got Fuzzy again? You can make me a perception check again. All three of you can.
Oh, that's kind of good. I wasn't sure.
Yep. Although we really do not trust Willow. You believe that this is a woman who is racked with loss and guilt and regret. She's racked with loss and regret. And because of that, she has a habit of keeping mementos close to her at all times. And you feel that she is very deeply thankful to Crystal for saving her from a hard life and would do almost anything for her. As you examine the drawer closer, the drawer where her key was, you can make me a perception check.
All of us?
Yes, despite the fact we really do not trust you, Willow.
I will be redeemed eventually.
Willow, you actually get really distracted with these scratch marks on the side of the desk, and you for a very long time you think these scratch marks had something to do with what went on here, until you realize that they were actually distress marks that were actually put into the wood intentionally for character.
What?
Willow got off track completely. Makoto and Ada,
Too surprised.
the only good detectives here.
But
Poor Willow.
I'm just having an off day.
Yeah, especially considering all of the nat ones that you're getting.
Yes.
You check around the key lock on the desk drawer. You find tiny scratch marks, and the lock on the drawer itself looks as though it were forced with a metal implement. And inside the lock, you find shards of bone that look as though they might have come from a bone needle.
Okay, then. Like, bones inside a lock.
Make me a perception check.
All of us?
Yeah, because Ada, for some weird reason, you really think that someone actually used a human bone to pick this lock.
Or at least, like, those of... out of character, I really should have thought that through before saying that.
Okay, so anyone else want to make a perception check here?
I will redeem myself.
Willow, you actually get on that bandwagon of talking with Ada with, hey, isn't this, didn't they use like a finger bone or something to pick this lock?
Creepy.
Mikoto, you remember that in Erwin Seth's office, you found a carved bone needle case, and one of the
Okay, I
bone needles in the
relay
case was broken.
Oh, forgot about that. I tell my associates that. Don't you remember that? What was it, Erwin? Dr. Erwin?
Erwin,
Erwin?
Professor Erwin.
I put Ermin in my little note thing. Spelled it wrong. Oops. Anyway, they had a bone lock picking tool set, and one of them were broken.
Oh, so you think that they might have used one of those to actually get into there at some point?
I mean, it's possible.
Asking Sonora the last time she saw the key, she says it must have been a couple of weeks ago. Honestly, I don't go into her office very often. I know that she really doesn't like people going in there when she's not there. And that bird of hers is quite, well, snappy, as I'm sure you've noticed. So I really honestly don't go into her office too often. So I haven't really looked in that drawer in quite a long time. The last time I needed to was a couple of weeks back when she left a document in her office, and she called me and asked me to retrieve it for her and bring it to her. She thinks back on the matter. I know there was one time when I was approached by a lovely man, a high Atlantean man with the most gorgeous eyes, and he was followed by another man, Erwin, I think. He introduced himself as, I believe. But I was most focused on the other man, the gorgeous man. His name was Tristram. I think, you can't possibly think one of them broke into my desk and stole the key, do you?
It could be a possibility, but we would have to find more solid evidence of it.
Do you want to ask her if she has any idea about the missing students, perhaps?
Yes.
She says, I'm not sure, but I could swear I could hear faint chanting coming from the pond. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it. When I went to investigate it, I saw footprints leading from the pond toward the gate. And as I followed the tracks in that direction, a thick fog rolled in, hiding what looked like shadowy figures moving silently. I was so scared I just ran. And when you ask her how long ago this was, she says, I think it was a few nights ago. Do you think the campus is haunted? And some spirit is snatching up students? Oh, how terrible to even think about.
Well, if anything, I doubt that it's the ghosts doing it, or whatever spirit it is, but that doesn't mean that they're entirely ruled out, though. And also, just out of character, I fucking knew the freaking pond would be tied to this.
Now you've gotten that clue about Erwin's office again, and that might lead you to want to go back up there and really look into things there again.
Yep.
So heading back to Erwin Seth's office, you can make a perception check to take a deeper look into this office, because I believe the last time anyone investigated this office was actually Willow. So there's a lot of things that could have been missed.
What? A secret?
Yes, of course. Okay. Mikoto, you find a key that looks out of place in his drawer. And so you can try that on Crystal's office door to see if that fits.
Okay. Will do. Insert key in
Yeah,
door.
might as well check it out.
So you go check.
Back to office.
Back to Crystal's office door, and you try the key in her office door. It fits.
Found the culprit.
So realizing this, you go back to Erwin Seth's office, or you have someone else. You have like Ada or Willow. Actually, Willow this time, surprisingly.
Oh,
Willow, you find a false bottom in his drawer. As you lift
Just
up that
like
false bottom,
before.
you find the strange key that Crystal told you about that was stolen from her office. So piecing all this together, you think Tristram and Erwin both went and approached Sonura. And as Tristram was distracting her, Erwin went around the side of her desk and broke into her desk. And Crystal, Crystal calls you and asks if you want to go investigate these rumors of a secret passage in the library. She's got some time, and so does Dr. Jules.
Is this a trick?
No, of course not.
Okay.
No. Because, if anything, Nafti Nahas's testimony did point out somebody passing through the wall in the library, so that could potentially be where the hidden passageway could be.
Alright. Well, takes pictures, then closes it.
Makoto, you go to meet up with them at the library. In the library here, you have a bit of a problem, namely Pax, the fairy who has pissed off Crystal to the point that she's looking for some sort of professional fairy removal service. From the moment you enter the library, Makoto, you got here first, Makoto. Ada and Willow haven't gotten here yet. You got here first, and from the very moment you entered the library, you noticed this fairy is keeping a very close eye on you, and is even following you around as you're kind of scrolling, like browsing around all the books. He's following you around. What do you do?
I'm not gonna steal the books.
They're my books.
I promise I promise my hands aren't sticky or anything.
They're my books. Don't damage my books.
I won't. I promise.
I'm watching you.
I'm a book lover too. I would never damage a book.
I'm watching you.
Okay.
He flies back towards the desk as he's looking back at you the whole time. So what do you do now?
I just continue browsing the books, I guess. Act like I'm just looking for something specific, as I also try looking for any hidden passageways that might be hiding.
Okay. Make a deception check.
Oh, my deception's very low.
He's eyeing you, and then turns back to whatever it was he was doing when you came in. You're not sure what he was doing.
Well, no, I wasn't here.
You think now he's harassing someone else.
Okay, I keep looking, browsing,
Make a
trying to
perception
find
check.
secret hidden,
Make a perception check.
find secret hidden doorways, hallways, whatever.
Yeah, you can't really find anything so far. And Ada and Willow, you finally make it here. And as you both come in here, Willow, Pax just flies right over to you. It just zips right over to you. You are not allowed here.
Hello?
You big clumsy oaf are not allowed here.
Have I ever been in? I don't remember, coming here before, have I?
You tore down one of my bookcases.
I don't remember that.
Will's got amnesia.
I was about to say, either way, we're more or less here to just try and look at a few things.
I'm not here to cause trouble.
The clumsy oaf is not allowed in here.
Alright, plan B. I'm gonna
You
plan B.
can come in here. You elf can come in here.
Let me
The
see.
oaf is not allowed here.
Plan B. What if I...
You can make a
what if
stealth check.
What? No. What if I... What? Well, I would go outside of the library to do this. But, well, actually, they could affect... how many people can it affect? I think it can just affect one. Like Iggy's, I guess, shield thing. Invisibility shield. That only affects
Iggy's
one,
invisibility?
that only affects one person, right?
Iggy's invisibility. Let me look. Willow's companions, Iggy. So, Iggy's aura of invisibility. Illusion bends light around your Mystimon partner and an adjacent ally. So, it can affect you and Iggy.
Huh.
And it will render you invisible for 5 minutes. Ada, you are able to walk right into the library as Willow
Alright,
is
so I
is
can use
forced to
that
leave.
for like 5 minutes, basically, to try
Yeah.
to find it.
So Willow's forced to leave, and during that time, Willow summons Iggy and uses Iggy's aura of invisibility to sneak their way
Alright,
back into the
Yes.
library.
yeah. Alright.
Ada, you can make me a perception check as you may back up with Makoto. What are you doing to avoid Pax's attention, Ada?
Well, the first thing that came to mind was more or less kind of looking through kind of like the catalogs, not really touching any of the books, but more or less just trying to see if there was kind of like a pattern that breaks at some point.
Okay, make me a deception check.
And not entirely my biggest strong suit, but here goes nothing.
He goes back to badgering another student. You think they're a student. Actually, you realize that the person that he's gone to badger is Crystal. And Crystal is just blowing up on him and says, "You need to get the hell out of my school."
I was about to say, out of character, would that be enough to give us a bonus to our deception since
Yes.
Crystal's keeping him occupied?
Yes, for now. Crystal is arguing with him and says, "You're not the librarian here. Plupok here is. Plupok is the librarian. You are just a freaking idiot fairy who keeps badgering him. He keeps pushing his way in here."
Crystal's racist against fairies.
No, Crystal is just absolutely annoyed with this particular fairy. She never wanted Pax here in the first place. Actually, you got the impression that Pax was the librarian here in the school the first time before it was destroyed. And Kyrene just dealt with him. But Crystal always had a problem with this fairy and never wanted him back. So, in her opinion, the true librarian here is Plupok, the Chelsian who also works here in the library. And Plupok is a very kindly old turtle and is really nice and very gentle and always speaks to you in this whispering tone. And at one point, Plupok actually comes over to you and says, "Is everything going all right?"
Yes.
Wonderful.
Smoothly.
If Pax causes a problem, do let me know. I know how to deal with onerous fairies.
Maybe you could teach Crystal how to deal with them.
Actually, I have a wonderful story. Do you have time to
Really?
listen to my story?
Maybe another time, but thank you. I'm definitely interested, just not at this moment.
Ada, you can make me a society check. I'm telling Ada to because I know Makoto is absolutely awful in
My
society.
society's at 3.
Yeah,
The
your
plus
society
3,
is
I'm gonna
untrained.
fail.
Ada, you know the Chelsian are a nomadic people who actually like to trade in stories.
Huh.
They're an interesting people. They like trading stories.
Yeah, I think I encountered some of them in the past. Delightful folk. Made for really good teachers.
And actually, you encounter the Chelsian pretty much every time you leave the school, because you actually know that there's a Chelsian tribe that is hanging around here in the Academy District. They actually kind of stay here. In fact, they actually have an agreement with Crystal to stay here.
Huh. Nice.
So you're looking around the library, and go ahead and make me a perception check as Plupok goes back to what he was doing, to what they were doing. Excuse me.
Can I
Chelsian,
make a perception check while I'm in like this?
yeah, you come back into the library invisible.
Yeah.
Very, very clever.
Yes, I know.
And this is the first time that they are using Iggy's cloak of invisibility. So you do actually know that Chelsian are very interesting people, and also the Chelsian are non-binary. They don't actually have words in their vocabulary for she, her, or he, him, or anything like that.
Hey, something they have in common with Willow.
Makoto, you find yourself drawn to one set of bookshelves along the wall. Here you find a bookcase that appears larger than the others, while also standing on its own, with two pillars topped with eagle-eye statues to either side of it. All of the other bookcases along the walls here are connected to each other. This is the only one that is like this. At first glance, as you're looking around this bookcase, you can't really make out a specific reason for this at all. You can't really find anything specific or special about the books on this bookcase. The pillars on either side of it are obelisk shaped and are similar to those that you actually can find scattered throughout the library. However, these are the only ones that are topped with eagle-eye statues. All of the others are topped with statues of various other Mystimon, primarily Phoenix, even the Dragon Lords, and other legendary Mystimon. So what do you think?
I think there's something suspicious about it.
Yeah, there's something definitely suspicious about it.
I tell Ada, hey, look, doesn't that look off to you?
In a way, yes.
Should we investigate? Check for like a switch or a button or a book that pulls out and opens a pathway?
Go ahead and try to investigate. As you try to turn like the eagle-eye statues, that nothing happens. That they don't move. You look around the bookcase. You can't really find any switches or anything.
I have an idea.
Oh no! Willow has an idea.
Will this work?
Will this
Let
work?
me see.
Read psychometric resonance. With a touch, you can read the psychic impressions left on the objects by their previous owners. This exploration activity functions similarly to detect magic, in that you move at half your travel speed or slower while looking for psychometric resonance. You must brush your bare hands over any objects you pass by while you do this. This detects objects with significant emotional resonance attached to them, such as the joy from a child's beloved teddy bear, or the sorrow from a widower's wedding ring, or the fear from a victim's murder weapon, something you feel quite often.
Oh. Yes.
Willow, if you're looking for a particular type of emotional resonance, you can choose to ignore other emotions. If you find an item with that resonance, you can explore that resonance with the psychometric assessment action.
I know what type of emotion I'd be looking for.
You don't really detect. You don't really detect anything on here. You certainly don't really feel any emotional energy from Pax, even though he claims that these books are his. So that could assert Crystal's claim that the books belong to the schools.
Oh,
Oh, God.
put it on an act. I see.
It's like, if anything, I think Ada's strategy for trying to find kind of something that could be tied to the kind of thing that we're trying to open up is most just trying to find any books that look off compared to surrounding books. Like, for example, like maybe something like a history book in the midst of nonfiction, in the midst of the effectiveness of fiction. At least something that just seems off when you look at the books around them.
Well,
So,
time to
what
go.
are you looking for?
What are you doing?
As Snowy is, Snowy wants everyone to know he's in charge.
Oh, so you're not looking for something?
Yeah,
Yes.
well, Ada is basically looking for kind of books that are off compared to the books around them to try and see if those are the ones kind of tied to what we're trying to open.
Okay, go ahead and make me a perception check. 29. Oh, sorry. So, let's see. You're not really seeing anything out of place about the books. Like I said, there's nothing really specific or special about the books that would make them seem out of place. You can't really discern from the books or anything why this bookcase is on its own.
How long has it been?
How long has it been? I don't
It's
know.
been 5 minutes.
Well, I know it's been.
Well, it would be. Let's see. It's been 5
It's around 6:37 now p.m.
minutes. Well, I would leave the library before the 5 minutes is up.
Willow leaves the library before the 5 minutes is up. Okay.
Yeah. It's like,
Fair enough.
can you can see through like your Mystimon, right? Kind of like their perceptions, I think.
Makoto,
I
you
know,
were
yeah.
looking at like the statues or anything, trying to figure out if anything like that has anything to do with this. Can you make me a perception check? Ooh, Makoto, you find this statue on this obelisk pillar, like up these like as you come into the library, these there is this like 3 steps that go down and towards and that moves towards to the bookcases along the wall. Going up these steps, you're coming up to the counter where you find Plupbuck, and you also find Crystal in an argument with a fairy. I realize how absolutely ridiculous that sounds. But Crystal is in an argument with a fairy. And you find this statue on top of an obelisk pillar, like right at the top of these 3 steps, kind of attached to this railing there. And you find that this specific statue seems to be of Electron, the Dragon Lord of Storm. And at the moment, it is facing towards the counter. But you realize the statue can move. It can turn. This specific statue can turn.
Can I turn it?
Which way do you want to turn it?
I don't know. Left?
You want to move it to the left? You want to move it so
try.
So move it towards the left. As you move it towards the, like, say that's looking in the direction of that bookcase, you hear a click.
Yeah.
Nothing happens with the bookcase, but there's a click. But you realize you find this on the other side from this railing from the Electron statue. You find a phoenix statue on an obelisk that is attached to another railing on to the right of it, and the phoenix statue will not move, and it is looking in the direction of the counter, the same as the Electron statue was looking in the direction of the counter. The Electron statue is the only one that turns.
Turn the statue to the counter again?
So you turn the Electron statue back towards the counter. Nothing. Willow.
Wait a minute.
So Willow, you came out of the library to so there are actually 2 entrances to the library. There's one entrance that is just past the counter that will lead off into the main hall. And there's another entrance that leads into the West Wing hallway. So which entrance did you go into? Which entrance do you go through, Willow, as you go to re-up your invisibility? Nobody hears you, Ducky.
I was just going to say, is she muted again?
I always forget to pull my mic down. Well, I'd probably go in the way that isn't. I guess if PAX is near the other one, then I would go in the opposite one, basically.
Okay. You go back out into the West Wing. What were you going to say, Ada?
Because if anything, part of me is curious of what if we tone the one that is able to tone towards the Phoenix statue thingamajig. Like maybe it's like a connection puzzle.
You go ahead and try it.
Yeah, might as well see if it does something.
Turning Electron back towards the Phoenix statue, nothing happens. You know, there was a click when it was turned towards the bookcase.
Okay, then tone it back so that it clicks. Does it seem like it could be pushed down on or something?
No.
looking for my fellow comrades. It's probably not that hard to find them.
God, I suck at puzzles.
Wait, can they? I'm invisible, but can they hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
You probably want to whisper, though. Roll a
I'm
stealth check.
gonna
Roll a
whisper.
stealth check.
Does it give me to do a stealth check too?
No, he's not trying to talk.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay. So, what do you want to say to your friends?
I would say, did you find something?
What do you want to tell the invisible Wekan? It's the invisible Bigfoot.
As of yet, not entirely much besides a statue that clicks into place when towards the bookshelf.
So wait, that means it's pointing towards a bookshelf.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
It clicks when it's turned towards the bookshelf.
Then the bookshelf is probably important. You should go look at the bookshelf.
I was about to say, Alejandro, didn't we already do that? Or did we not look at that specific
We
one?
looked at the bookshelf first before we turned the statue, though. Can we investigate the Phoenix statue more? Maybe it's stuck or something. Or
Nothing.
maybe it looked like there's nothing.
Nothing.
And do you need to have something to recall knowledge on? Or is that, I guess, an action within a separate action that you can do?
What do you want to recall knowledge on?
You said it's a Phoenix statue?
The one that turned was an Electron statue. One of the 10 Dragon Lords.
Are there more dragon statues?
Not in the library. Ada, you can make me a society check.
Let's try.
Ada, you recall that there are other Dragon Lord statues, but they're scattered throughout the school.
But maybe they're connected.
Yes, maybe they all have to click into place.
Maybe we have to, if we find, it might be helpful to find the others.
You remember, this kind of pops out at you every single time. But just because you see it, just because of your like connection to Ira and Kwai, you remember Freslor and Gaius statues in the main hall on either side of the central stairs. And that pops out at you just because of, like your connection with Kwai and Ira.
Wait,
and
who?
Those 2 Dragon Lords are imprinted by Kwai and Ira.
Are you talking to Ada?
Yeah, to Ada.
And if anything, I have a feeling like Ada, I think this might actually be one of the few times where Ada tending to get lost might be a good thing. Because it means she actually knows kind of where some of these things are. Because she tends to get all scattered.
She has specifically noticed those 2. She notices those 2 all the time as she passes up the central stairs. And it really jumps out at her, like I said, because of your connection to Kwai and Ira.
We still have the school map, right?
Yes.
Or at least...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would take the map out and it's like, or maybe someone that should write should do this. Like, basically.
Yeah, Jules makes a comment. Maybe, Willow, we need to talk about you actually going back to primary school?
No. Well, Willow, what? Willow would mention, can someone note down the statue? I guess put an X.
So,
I would do it, but I have trouble writing.
So you mark an X in the main hall. You mark an X in the main hall for actually 2 X's for Freslor and Gaius. Mikoto, one that jumps out at you that you pass by all the time, particularly because you often get into conversations with Soma, and Soma is always bringing this up. She's always bringing up Croson. You don't know why. You think for some reason Soma seems to think that Croson is behind everything. Nyarlathotep. Soma's been passing around conspiracy theories about Croson again. You noticed all the time in the main foyer statues of Holoclone and Croson.
All right, I guess I marked those on the map for us.
Okay.
How do you spell these?
You spell that.
Do we all have our own maps now? Maybe we should mark
Yeah.
them on all the maps and we should split up and divide and conquer.
Do we have our own map?
Yes.
Alright, that sounds good. See.
Does Snowy want to say hello again? Let me know if you hear Snowy in the background. That's 5. Electron, Breslor, Gaius, Croson, Holoclone. Still 5 more.
Maybe we can ask somebody like Crystal. I don't know.
Let's see. Well, it's going to suggest what I can go to. Right, well, we could go to these locations. Well, this says we could go to these locations. Well, this one clicked. We could go to these locations and see what way they click. Well, that's what Will is going to do. At least.
Okay, so that's 5 of the Dragon Lords that you know. You're not sure where the other 5 are.
Well, I was
You're going to need to go looking.
going to suggest to go to the ones we know and try and like
Or you
move
can
them.
split up.
That's
that's
what I
what-
suggested.
Alright, well,
Yes, split up.
Well, yeah, Will is. Well, that's what Will's gonna do. Will's gonna go to the other locations and try to move them around so
Okay.
they like click.
Okay. So Willow's
Like-
going to go to the ones that you know of, while Makoto and Ada are going to go to the ones. You're going to try to go find the other ones, the other 5.
It's okay. Iggy will make sure I behave.
You and Iggy sneak by. Pax is still in argument with Crystal. You just sneak right by them and go through the doorway into the main hall. And as you do, you hear Crystal say, "If you do not leave my school right this second, I am going to burn you alive."
Well, I think to myself, I didn't get on their bad side.
So Ada and Makoto, you go searching for the other 5.
Do we have like a map of the school
Yes.
for Foundry? No, for Foundry.
No. I haven't
No?
made a
Oh,
map
okay.
yet.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Sorry, it's a very large pyramid. It's a very large pyramid. It would take me a while to make a map. So Makoto and Ada,
Yeah.
as you come out of the library, you go out into the West Wing Hall and make me a perception check as you move through the West Wing Hall. You don't find anything in the West Wing Hall. Moving on into the main foyer, where you find Holoclone and Croson, where Makoto knew where they were because she passes by them all the time. So I assume you go and turn those 2. And they do turn. As you turn them, as they are pointing in the direction of the library, they click. Both of them. So which way do you want to go next? Going forward, past the statues of Holoclone and Croson would lead you into the main hall. Or going to the right-hand side of the main foyer, you'll find a doorway that leads into the East Wing Hall. Which way do you want to go?
East maybe?
Yeah, you want to go towards the East Wing?
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Also, I'm using my phone's microphone now. How does this?
Very, very, very tinny.
Sound like you're far away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you sound like you're far away. I'll probably need to raise your... I'll probably need to play around with the EQ.
It's like I have my phone, but I have the base of my phone towards where my mouth is, so I'm right here next to it. Wait, what if I try the other way around? How does this sound?
Not better.
Okay then. After this, note to self: get a new headset ASAP.
Yeah, I suggest moving back to the piece of crap because I have to have you all on the same track. I'm sorry, because it's just the way things work. There's no way to separate the tracks. If I had Ada's audio on a different track, I would be able to mess around with the EQ to make it sound better, but I can't. Anyway, so you head through the door into the East Wing Hall. And you're not... Make me a perception check as you're going through the East Wing Hall. So you don't really find anything until you get to the doorway leading into the antechamber. Here, you find a statue to the left of the door of Cyclone. And moving that one, as you move it in the direction of the library, it clicks. Willow, in the main hall, as you get to the central stairs, on either side of the central stairs, you find the statues of Freslor and Gaius. And right now, they're facing towards the doorway to the main foyer behind you. As you turn them, and they do turn, as they get to the direction of the library, they click into place. And make me a perception check, Willow. Willow, you think you see another one up on the second floor landing towards your left. You think you see a statue of Waveform.
Okay. I'm gonna go over there.
You'll go up the stairs to the second floor landing. As you get up on the second floor, you go around this. Crystal calls it the catwalk because it's basically a catwalk that goes around the outer walls of the pyramid. You go up there and you go around to the left and you find, yeah, that is Waveform. As you turn it in the direction of where the library is, it clicks. Make me a perception check. That was for Willow. Willow, as you're looking right across from Waveform statue, you see another one on the other side.
See another one. Big fellow that.
So you go around the catwalk and around to the other side, and there you find a statue of Cyvars. And you move that one, and turn it, and it clicks into place. So that is Electron, Freslor, Gaius, Cyclone, Holoclone, Prosen, Waveform, and Cyvars. That's all of them except for Flumdrone. Where's Flumdrone's?
Well, I think I noticed a pattern.
How do you notice a pattern?
I was thinking about that. Well, I think it's a pattern that, well, when I turned the last one, is it pointing towards the one I'm at now?
Kinda, sorta, because it's pointing in the direction of the library.
So I guess I was thinking that maybe they're all pointing at the library. That seems important. But maybe I know it'd be easier with like a visual. Maybe they're kind of, I guess, tells you where the other one is. I don't know.
Nobody knows.
I guess if we like looked at them all, I guess if we could, I don't know if I'm making sense.
No.
Like, I guess I'm saying that they point towards each other in a way. Like the first one, there's the first one that I pointed that way, and then it was pointing, and then I saw the other one, and then when I pointed to that one, I noticed the other one.
Cyvars is actually pointed kind of offset, because like I said, it's pointing towards the library. It's pointing in the direction of the bookcase.
You said that you looked at the bookcase, right? Like when you're in the library, but you didn't see anything.
And I'm going to assume that you're all on Comstone with each other now at this point.
Yeah.
Everyone can make me a society check.
I remembered where I was this time.
Ada, you kind of come upon this as like an aha moment, because you think you've been walking by the Flumdrone statue all this time, and you just never noticed. Ada says, my microphone is now picking up noises that aren't there in the first place, both with and without auto sensitivity on, while also alternating between picking my voice up and not. So you think you've been walking by this the Flumdrone statue this entire time. You think back each time you've walked up the stairs to Crystal's office, and you remember kind of looking up at something, but not really thinking much of it. Ada is having problems with her microphone. We are sorry. Ada really needs to get a new microphone as soon as humanly possible. Technical difficulties, Twilight Edition, now with phantom noises. This just in. Ada's microphone is haunted. Ooh. At least I'm willing to joke about my own technological suffering with mics. Yeah, I recommend getting that Pathfinder headset. Pathfinder is not a sponsor. I just really like their products. I've had 3 Pathfinder products. In fact, I'm speaking into one right now. Ada, you remember seeing something as you walk into Crystal's office on the 3rd floor. So does Ada mention that at all as she is dealing with her microphone? We will say that Ada does mention that, and we'll just keep this moving as she deals with her microphone issues. So Makoto, Ada's like, whoa, holy shit. We've been walking by it the entire time as she tells you about what she's noticed, but not really thought much of every single time. Go to Crystal's office.
Okay.
So what do?
I guess we go to Crystal's office.
And you tell Willow to go and meet you all there.
I go towards that direction while I make sure to look at the map occasionally.
You go up the stairs and you find yourself on the top floor. And Willow, as you've been looking at the map and you look up, you find yourself at the light mystia casting classroom where you know Ira's been taking light mystia casting classes. That's not it.
Oh, this map is useless.
You were holding the map upside down.
Oh my god.
Makoto, you and Ada make your way to Crystal's office, and you're just waiting here for like 5 minutes for Willow to show up.
I wonder if it makes you wonder how Willow's been reading anything this whole time.
Yes, it does.
I have
Willow,
mentioned it.
you make your way up to the crow's nest, and you find yourself in the astrology class.
Wait, is there anyone in there? Is there anyone in there?
Nope, not at this hour.
Oh my gosh. Do I know it's upside down? Did I turn it right side up?
This time it's sideways.
Oh my gosh. Mental note to self. Ask Jules if they have any classes for reading and writing.
Now you're ready to talk to Dr. Jules about going back to primary school.
All right, I go on my Comston
and ask for directions.
It seems that I can't read that well, so where am I again?
You're in what Crystal likes to call the crow's nest.
I'm in the crow's nest. Could you help me get directions from here?
Dakota, you know that she's up in the in the tip of the pyramid.
How does she keep getting stuck up there?
Nobody knows. Good very good question, because it's a very tight fit.
I don't know if it's like possible or if I have a spell that does this. Can I like summon a spirit or create a spirit that can guide her to us?
Yes.
Maybe I should.
Yes, you can animate one of your spirits, Makoto. I do believe you can actually summon them and send them to go find Willow.
Drag her back here.
I remembered.
She needs a leash.
This spell. I should have used it.
Okay, well that's what I'm doing.
You summoned one of your spirits to go find Willow. And the spirit is giving you like the stink eye. It's like This is beneath me. Why am I all of a sudden a babysitter?
I'm sorry, Spirit. I'm there suffering alongside you.
Note to
I'm on your
self,
side on this. The fact that I even have to summon you to do this is ridiculous. Didn't she tell us that she went to this school?
that was before, that was like a while ago before
Yep.
it got destroyed. It's like years ago.
Eventually, your spirit guides Willow back to you. This is what you find here. As you look at the top of the central stairs, above the entrance to the headmaster's office, where it is very easy to miss entirely, above the doorway to Crystal's office, you see this head, basically like this golden head in the shape of Flumdrone's head.
Mm-hmm.
And along down to either side of the door are these like wing embroideries with Flumdrone's claws to either side of the door.
I guess I searched the statue or whatever.
Make a perception check. You realize that the claws can turn.
Turn the claws.
When you turn the one on the left, it clicks. Willow, Mikoto, and Ada, make me a perception check. Ada, you hear something whirring, like some kind of mechanical sound. You think it's coming from the direction of the library. And as you all of you get back down to the bottom floor, to the ground floor, and go into the library, you find actually a group of people looking at this doorway that has suddenly appeared where that bookcase was. And everyone's like, what the hell? Where did this come from? You hear all these hushed whispers. You see Pax going completely wild. What have you people done to my library? And Crystal pops him in the head with a pyro ball and sends him flying across the library. He was pissing me off. Well deserved. Well deserved, says Ada.
Yeah, back to the library.
And so as you investigate this doorway that has now appeared here, Crystal and Jules are looking in here like, what the hell? As you look beyond, you've noticed that the two eagle-eye statues to either side of that bookcase that was there have automatically turned toward the bookcase, or toward wherever it was now. The bookcase, it seems, actually shifted back and moved out of the way. And beyond it, leading down, deep beneath the sand of the desert, is a staircase. You head down the staircase into the darkness below. I assume you like bring out your lanterns.
Yeah.
Bring out your lanterns and investigating.
Yeah.
With Crystal and Jules following closely behind. And it eventually leads you to a large chamber where you find several books, journals, documents, scrolls, maps. But there's one thing that really catches your eye. As you move past all the bookcases, you find in the back a large pinboard with photos and documents pinned on it. Give me a perception check. As Jules and Crystal are looking around the books and scrolls and documents and stuff. Oh my bloody gods. Mikoto and Ada are way distracted with all the books and documents and scrolls and the bookcases. And you get really distracted as you realize all of the stuff here was left here by someone named Dr. Jane Dawn. Mikoto, Ada, you are like suddenly looking at Crystal because her full name is Crystal Dawn. And Crystal's like, she couldn't possibly be an ancestor of mine, could she? Jules says, actually, she could be, as she finds a photo of a woman standing next to an older gentleman with a thin mustache and spectacles. She shows it to Crystal, and Crystal is stunned. And she shows it to all of you, and she looks very similar to Crystal. Crystal is, it says, in surprise, she looks almost exactly like me. Is she my great-great plus grandmother? She might be, says Jules. Judging from this letter here, this letter that you find pinned on the bottom right of the pinboard, here's what this letter says. This circle control everything. And what is going on there, Makoto?
For me?
There's some kind of noise going on over there.
Yeah, the cat's playing with its toy.
So this letter says, the circle control everything. If they ever find this place, they would control the entire mystery. They would take everything apart that he created. Real science has no place in the world that they envision. I must seal this place. And they must never find it. To whoever finds this place, if you believe in true science, continue our work. Take down the circle once and for all. The knowledge and science of the Mystimon belong to the world, not the elites of one country. Above all, protect the Mystimon. What they are doing goes way deeper. It goes way further. They must not ever find this place. They must never control what he created. I believe they had him murdered because he wouldn't go along with their sick plans. He was a great man, and his legacy should be protected. But they want to hoard all of the knowledge of Mystimon to themselves. They poach Mystimon because they believe they have a right to. And should the Dragon Lords awaken, I believe they will do everything in their power to collect them. This must never come to pass. Protect them. Protect all of the Mystimon. Stop the circle. Jane Dawn. And Jules says, judging from this letter, Jane was tenacious, just like you, Crystal. And she worked with Dr. Ivan Sanderson. She was a mystozoologist. I think she would be proud of you, how far you've come. Crystal takes a look at that letter. Preslor, Gaius, Galaclone, and Flamdrone have all been hanging around here for a while in the general area. Do you believe they're in danger? She says, looking at you. Should they leave? Makoto? Ada?
Yes.
Do you believe Preslor, Gaius, Galaclone, and Flamdrone should leave? Do you believe they're in danger?
Possibly.
No.
Jules says...
Happy
Jules says they're all imprinted by yourself, Ira, Kawoi, and Soma, correct? Couldn't you simply dismiss them all to the flow? Says Jules. Crystal thinks about that. I suppose we could, but I don't believe Ira or Kawoi will agree to that. Kawoi doesn't like dismissing any of her Mystimon. Her Grizzlies and Hummer are basically living in the courtyard at the dorms, to which Willow can attest.
Yes. Wait a minute.
And Ira believes that Freslor isn't really hers to control like that. Sure, but if the circle were to make moves to try and capture them, they would be protected in the flow. But I also have another question. The Academy, this place, it's freshly built, correct? Then what is with the secret passage leading down here? The Dragon Lord's puzzle seemed directly connected to this room, almost too perfectly connected. You found that the basement levels were simply held over from what was already here when the Academy District was built, correct? Where did that passage come from? Why was it added? Crystal takes another look at the pinboard and then around the room. That is a very good question. It's almost like someone wanted this room to be found. And Jules says, what about... I don't know. What about the blueprints? What about the Academy blueprints? Crystal says... Well, they're being held in the special archive at the palace. Gaining access to it is not likely to be easy, but if anyone can, it'll be a council member, probably. The only one I can think of who could have possibly set all of this up would be Kyrene. She oversaw the reconstruction, and it is certainly something she would do, to be honest with you. Wouldn't surprise me in the least. Ada says how, considering how serious the task at hand is, that might be the safest course of action for Crystal, Soma, Kawoi, and Ira to dismiss Flamdrone and Galaclone and Freslor and Gaius. And then Ada says, do you think we're being set up?
I have a question.
What?
Yes. Well, I was thinking it seems like something that we should see what like the other two people in our party thinks, but I don't know. I think they're like I don't know how if they're suspended. Or I guess if one of them is suspended, then would they I guess not know about it, I guess.
Yeah. Crystal decides at this point to just call Fleur. She says, I believe Fleur was staying with Kyrene. I'll call her up and see if maybe Kyrene has come out of her coma yet." And she brings up Fleur, and Fleur says, "Oh, hi, yeah, Kyrene did wake up a little while ago. Here, I'll give her the comstone." As you ask her about this secret passage, she says, "What secret passages? If there really are secret passages, I have no knowledge of them. Kyrene has no knowledge of any secret passages here in this school."
How can we
So
tell
the
if-
one person that Crystal could think of who might have set this up, she didn't do it. So that leads you to the blueprints. You need to get access to the blueprints. But
do that?
in the meantime, looking closer at the pinboard, Makoto, can you make me a perception check?
Yeah.
So Makoto, you find that there are newspaper clippings from the early Second Age talking about events from those days, with pins connected from one event to another in some wide conspiracy map. It's clear that Jane Dawn saw some greater pattern in each of these events, with the major one being the death of Dr. Ivan Sanderson, as a newspaper clipping of that event and his obituary is pinned on the board most prominently in the center, as though she's saying everything is connected. She believed clearly from all of this that this circle of Krolls was connected to everything, even back in the Second Age. Jules says, "How far back do you think the circle of Krolls goes? Do you really think they are behind some wider conspiracy?" And Crystal replies, "I really don't know. What I can't figure out is if they are behind some grand conspiracy going back hundreds of years, why would they all of a sudden bring all of their actions more into the light now? Why now do they show themselves if they've hidden them in the shadows for so long? None of this makes any sense." Makoto, the first newspaper clipping is from the 7th of Coryphus, 1336. "Gola attack on Brave Port. Many died when the Gola once again attacked the Quartica Islands, destroying the port of Breve. The Kunas of the Quartica Islands are now meeting to discuss the threat." Written by Fred Casa. And attached to this clipping is a note from Jane. Why would the Gola suddenly attack? And when there was a peace treaty, was this really a Gola attack? And it's connected to another clipping written the 12th of Coryphus, 1336. "Kahali Hakia dead. The Kuna of Laina is dead after having just arrived in Baona for a summit to discuss the Gola attack." Written by Holly Ialone. And there's another note attached to this. "The timing of this event is too close to be a coincidence. Could he have been assassinated? Was this murder?" You could either research using the books in this room around you by searching for anything relating to the Gola, or you could make society checks to recall knowledge about the Gola.
I can use my research point.
No, you can't.
No.
Those are from. You should remove those from your sheet right now, Willow.
Okay. Okay.
Research what?
You can either do a research activity to using the books in this room by searching for anything relating to the Gola, or you can make a society check to recall knowledge.
Research.
Ada makes a society check. To make a research check, you can go ahead and either make.
I will do research.
Nico.
Can I like aid someone else if they're doing research?
Actually, Makoto, you could use genealogy lore, or you could use religion, perhaps.
I'm using religion.
So Ada, this is what you know. The Gola first attacked on the 13th of Coryphus in 1252, in what began as a small-scale skirmish on Brieve, and soon expanded to an all-out war. It all stopped after the Allied nations came together for the first time 25 years later in 1277 to negotiate a peace treaty. Many have warned that this peace was tenuous at best, and indeed, the Gola began attacking Atlantia in 1741. That war ended in 1806, in a moment that many agree led to a unification of Western and Eastern Atlantia when both kingdoms finally learned to stop fighting one another and stand up to the Gola, and in 1929, Western and Eastern Atlantia finally became one kingdom. There is nothing in the history books, or anything as far as you know, about another attack by the Gola in 1336, though that doesn't mean it didn't happen. And another newspaper clipping written the 19th of Kiloron, 1357, bombing in Emerald Port. A city block in Emerald Port was rocked when an apartment building exploded yesterday evening. 32 people died in the disaster. Magi Guard officials later explained that the explosion was due to a gas main leak. Another note is attached to this one. Why describe it as a bombing in the headline, but then explain that it was a gas main leak, according to investigators? You could also research this one as well, or make it a society check. Makoto?
Yes.
You want to roll like genealogy or something?
Religion?
I'm not sure religion will have anything to do with it. Excuse me.
You said religion earlier, so.
For this one, I would say just go with genealogy. Yeah, just do genealogy. Okay. You learned that afterwards in 1353, a noble by the name of Salim Isa bought the entire block where this happened. And in the same note, you learned that another noble by the name of Glenn Myrtle negotiated a very lucrative wine deal with a trading company with a warehouse on Brieve Port in 1337. He had been trying to work out this deal for a long time, but the Kuna of Laina Kahali Lakia had been opposing the deal. And in fact, from the Korchka Islands, from the way their government works, all 7 Kunas have to agree to it for that trade deal to go through. All 7 Kunas have to agree to it. He was the one holdout. So that's suspicious. And you find another newspaper clipping, the one that is most prominent, written the 29th of Elsrava, 1392. Famous mystozoologist dead. Dr. Ivan Sanderson was tragically found dead in his home last night. He is survived by his wife and child. Investigators believe that he died from a heart condition. He had been arguing for and championing a bill with the Allied Nations Council to establish the Endangered Species Registry and protect many Mystimon species from poaching and hunting the world over. Next to it, attached to it, is a note from Jane Dawn. He was poisoned. You can make me a genealogy or society check. Is Willow doing anything anymore? Or has Willow gotten distracted with something? Let's say, actually, Willow, you started going around the room and started looking around because you got distracted. Willow's a Wekan with ADHD, and you started looking around. And make me a perception check, Willow, as you're looking around the room some more. Willow, you notice a wooden pallet covering a square hole in the corner, where you can see light peeking through between the wooden boards.
Let me go see what that is.
As you pull this up out of the way and look down, you suddenly find yourself looking down directly at Dr. Lorena Gray as she is looking back up at you. Hello. Nice of you to drop in.
Hello.
She says as she just continues what she was doing as though nothing happened. And You realize you're looking directly down into the archive. And Crystal says, I see she's getting with the program. Just another day with this lot.
Okay.
And Loretta heard her as she calls back, not looking up. Hello, Crystal. I left the paper you asked for with your secretary when you get a chance to look at it. Take your time. I'm sure skulking around the many hidden quarters of the school is great fun. Ah, fuck, work, says Crystal. Do call me if you go searching for more hidden secrets.
Balls just like juggles like okay.
Ada and Makoto, the ones who are actually doing the work.
Well, I'm not really super good at religion.
Where are you?
Or know anything about genealogy.
Ada, you actually rolled a 20 on the die. So here's what you know, Ada. You know that the Endangered Species Registry didn't get established until long after Dr. Ivan Sanderson's death in 1404. Jane Donne fought for it long after her mentor's passing, and she finally succeeded. The bill that finally established it was called Ivan's Legacy. This is just a few examples of this pattern that Jane is apparently trying to point out here. And to be continued next time on Mystimon Saga Hidden Archives. If you enjoyed today's show, how about you do us a favor and drop us a like and a comment, and maybe consider subscribing. We would also love for you to join our Discord community, catch our next episode live in 2 weeks on Thursday, or catch us on our podcast. Thank you, and we will see you next time. Bye!
Bye!